Well, hello viewers. Welcome to the Barry Peatling show, and we got something a little bit different this week because there was no real game, a round game, but it was a representative game between the Mornington Peninsula and the PN Football League Sharks and the Ovens and Murray's Football League, and so it's a little bit different this week, and the best of the best were out, and so we're going to interview Barry Peatling now, who was Johnny on the spot at the game, and see what his thoughts are. Welcome, Barry.
Well, thanks again, Colin. Yes, I went down to the Frankston Park to watch this. It's a combined side, both sides, but it's actually an exhibition game, Colin.
Best of the best?
They are the best, and it was a very good game from start to finish, and
all right.
Well, not a bad crowd, but it should have been a lot better. And it started at 1 o'clock. I just got there at 5 to 1. I thought I watched probably the last quarter of the other game, but it started at 1 o'clock.
Okay, that's
going on.
Different. It's usually at 2:15.
Usually
or something.
10 past 2, yeah.
Okay, well, just give us a little bit. You talked about the crowd a little bit, the weather and the ground conditions.
The weather was a bit of a slight breeze down towards what road is it? Down the other end.
Davy Street
end. About 3 or 4 goal advantage, I'd say. Ground was perfect like a cup. If you couldn't play football there on Saturday, can't play football at all.
Okay, so very good conditions. Now, just briefly talk about the teams on both sides.
Well, I look at the sides of them, because I didn't know anybody from the Ovens and Murray, of course, but
yes.
I did play against them once upon a time back in the 60s when I was in the Wimmera side, Colin.
Oh, really? So people like from Yarrawonga,
probably their
Albury,
grandsons now.
Wodonga, that sort of thing?
Yeah, we played their game up in Horsham, beat them too, but I don't, because I didn't know any players from the Ovens and Murray now, but the MPL, very classy side, but I mean, there's one side in the competition is running second on the ladder at the moment in the MPL. Chelsea didn't have one representative in this game, Colin. It's a disgrace, fair dinkum disgrace.
To me, that seems a bit shocking, Barry.
It's not a bit shocking, it's disgusting.
You got Chelsea, not even a representative. Now, you told me earlier that a couple of players were on the list, that they were told that they possibly might be in the team, and you said they didn't even get a response.
Said right, there's Louis. I was talking to Anthony Lewis last week after the game over here. He said Harrison and himself had been sort of on the list. I said, you sure? They said, yeah, but they were going to notify him, but they didn't notify him, and of course he was up in Horsham on Saturday. He didn't. But there should have been at least 3 players from Chelsea, Colin.
But that's dead set rude, isn't it?
The words fail me. I'm telling you. Look, Stephen Harrison should have been in the side. Not only should he be in the side, Colin, he should have been captain. A. Lewis should have been on the wing. He should have been vice captain. Jackson Powell should have been in it, and probably Nigel Carmody and Scotty McLeod could be a chance.
So at least a couple of players should have been in.
Should have been 3.
Should have been 3 players in this representative side. That was shocking to me, and I was flabbergasted, Barry. One thing also, just as a small note, there's no Kooringal players.
Kooringal beat Chelsea by 12 goals 2 weeks ago, and I reckon they could have at least 2 or 3 too. Not a scary, not one. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's the selectors for this side. They must have a lot of relations in Pakenham and Dramana and wherever. But
well, there's 5 Frankston YCW players. I mean, they're on the top of the ladder.
Well, I reckon there should have been at least 3. But
there was 4 Pakenham players.
Pakenham, this league's down here, Colin, compared to them.
They're like a BC grade.
Down here they are.
Yeah, okay.
I know, but the captain of the side was Adam Hunter. He plays for Cranbourne, I think. He's a very good player, but I mean, Stephen Harrison should have been captain, Colin, and he would have led that side.
Should have been inside at least.
Yeah.
Anthony Lewis. These sorts of players. Okay, let's just get on with the game. We're a bit angry about that, but we'll move on.
Get over it.
We'll get over it. They're all well rested for next week's game. But the first half, tell us about the first half.
Well, it was a pretty even first quarter to MPL had to win the first quarter. They kicked about 2 goals 7 in the first quarter, and Ashley Eames, a very good ruckman, Colin. He's been around for a long time. He started off very well, and he finished very well too. But he went in the ruck early. McDonald had at least 9-10 possession in the first quarter. Started off brilliantly.
Number 24, Shane McDonald.
He was
from Bon Beach. Yeah.
Brilliant early, and Justin Berry, he is captain of the MPL side. He will start off pretty well, but it was a pretty even first quarter. In the second quarter, McDonald was playing well as usual. It took a mark of the day in the second quarter, Colin. He's only about 5'8". He got out of the pack. Byron Barry was very good early in the second quarter too. From he's at YCW, isn't he?
By Byron Barry, number 2, YCW.
Yeah,
correct.
There was a nice bit of handball in the last part of the second quarter from Shane McDonald to Byron Barry, and resulted in a brilliant goal. Colin. It was one of the plays of the day. Involved McDonald again as usual.
And the second half. Let's talk about the second half.
Well, the second half. It was a very even game all day most of the day because both sides are well matched. All these fellas, there wasn't much. There was no defensive tag and all that rubbish. And but second half.
It's a tight game all day.
Well, they was never headed, I don't think, MPL, but they got within 2 or 3 points a couple of times during the day. But the last quarter, with Ashley Eames still playing well in the ruck, McDonald still getting loose, and this fella from full forward from Cranbourne, Mark Holt, he won the game for MPL in the last quarter. He took 2 brilliant marks and kicked 2 brilliant goals.
And the end scores was 13-15 to the Mornington Peninsula Mpnfl Football League, 83 to 13-13, 81. So they just won by 2 points.
Yeah, it was very close. And that goal from Mark Holt, from about probably 55 metres out from goal, he sort of kicked that goal and sort of sealed the game, and the siren went.
And just on the goal kickers, he kicked 4 goals.
Yeah, and 2 of them was in the last quarter.
2 of them was in the last quarter, crucial goals. Luke Walker kicked 3.
Must mention Luke Walker, he played very well most of the day. He kicked 3 nice goals, that fella. He's a very good footballer, number 20, isn't he?
Number 23.
23, yeah, he was a class player.
Class player. And a few goals from captain from Ovens and Murray, Daniel Leslie, kicked a couple of goals.
Daniel Leslie's a very good footballer, yeah, number 5. There he is.
Luke Morgan, any relation to the other Morgan over in...
Rapania?
Maybe.
Don't think so.
Don't think so.
Well, you never know. It might have been a throwback from way back, because this is about 3 generations gone from 60s.
So who were your best players?
My best players for the
Give us your votes.
My 3 votes, I give 1 to Justin Berry, the captain of the MPL.
Yes, number 20.
2 votes to Ashley Eames, who rucked all day and just killed them in the ruck. And
Yes.
3 votes to number 24, which is nothing unusual for him to get 3 votes from me, is Shane McDonald.
Shane McDonald from Bomb Beach. And even though he's from Bomb Beach, you show no bias.
No
Even
bias.
from the enemy.
No, well, you don't get to that rubbish, because when you start doing those sort of things, you may as well give it away. But he's a very good footballer.
Very good.
And he was in. Actually, I think I might call him the general now, because he's dictating all the play most of the day in that game on Saturday.
So his game was superb.
Handball, he gets the ball. He handballs 30 or 40 yards, Colin. He was unbelievable, some of them. And when he gave that goal in the second quarter to what's his name, Byron Barry, I think it was. It went 30 yards to handball, and he went bang and kicked the goal. It was the play of the day.
Polly Farmer-esque.
Dead right, Polly Farmer, yeah. But he's a gun.
So what do you think? Does this competition or this sort of game, this exhibition game, have any future?
Oh yeah, we don't call those, not like a competition game, it's like an exhibition game. Like these fellas, there was no malice, it was pretty good, no punch-ups or no
aggression.
No, it was just full-on
No
hard
unwarranted
football.
aggression.
Look, there was no holds barred. There was a lot of heavy hitting there, but it was just a fantastic game to watch. And they kept I must mention the stupid sideboard, what do you call it? Not sideboard, the scoreboard.
Scoreboard,
wasn't
no
working until before half-time.
Well, that's a bit amateur-esque.
Well, they had the scoreboard over the other side of the ground. I was in front of the stand, and the scoreboard, what they generally use, which is stupid at any time, they had nothing on it.
So who keeps score?
I don't know, someone pressing buttons upstairs.
Oh boy, and yourself, of course. Okay, so we had a few highlights there and a few lowlights.
Oh, I got some highlights here.
Give us a couple of highlights.
Well, Macca's mark in that second quarter, really and truly, I mean, he's only 5'8", and he looks short on that. And he took this mark over the pack.
I've got him here. His official height is 175 centimetres.
He's shorter than me. Actually, I shook his hands on something after the game. He took the mark, and the crowd applauded. And he'd done that twice, 2 or 3 times with McDonald. Some of his plays, he was just getting the ball, and good crowds know good football, and they applaud good football. Here was one of the... And Luke Smith's goal in the third quarter, right on the opposite side of his kicking style.
Some say it was a bit of a gem.
Right on the boundary line, bang, right through. Look, and of course one of those goals from Luke, what's his name? What's that fella's Luke? Luke kicked 3 goals. Luke Walker. He kicked 3 lovely goals at Luke Walker. But Ashley Eames in ruck all day, mate. It was one of the highlights. And of course a great exhibition of football. It was to the top to right off. But Ashley Eames, I think who's he playing with now? He's playing for Franks and Washington Oven, that's right. Maybe he's not playing, we play him in a couple of weeks' time. Because you need a step ladder to get hold of him. He's about 6 foot 12.
Not even Gaze, and even
Hey?
our mate Gaze could get a hold of him.
Well, someone's got a... Oh, and he's a big boy. But the main highlights, I reckon, was that won the game for the Mpnfl was Mark Holt. He looks about 2 stone overweight, Cole, this fella. Can he gets up and stays up there and kicks the ball a mile? So he's not in our competition, he's in Cranbourne, playing for Cranbourne.
Well, that's really the highlights from this particular game. Jam-packed, good game, and we thank you, Barry, for covering it. And we look forward to future coverage. Tell us about next week. What's happening next week?
Chelsea playing Langwarren down at Langwarren, which is
so they have the home ground advantage.
I've only been there once or twice. It's not a good ground there.
So it should be a tight game, although you think that we should win.
Good bit of percentage this week, I'd say.
Your percentage booster.
You never get too cocky in games.
Okay, yeah. Percentage booster. We'll look forward to that. And probably the one thing we want to take out of this game we watched, okay, mostly it was positive, but we were not happy with Chelsea not being represented.
I might write something on the plate one day about that. Just before we go,
just
Tom,
put it here and they can just watch the YouTube video.
Yeah, just keep tuning about. I meant to tell you last week, I was watching that game of under 14s over the Chelsea football round a couple of weeks ago, and this is all number 5, facing under 14s, Chelsea under 14s. So I forget his name, something funny name, but he reminds me a little bit of Shane McDonald when he was first starting. Okay. This fella's going to be a gun. Number 5 and under 14s for Chelsea. Keep your eye on him.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and that's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me, and see you next Monday, same time, same station.